This is my website about global positioning systems. Throughout my website, you will learn what a global positioning system is, some impacts, and some other information about it. On my homepage, you can see that I give a little bit of background information on the global positioning system. It says here that it is a network of orbiting satellites that send precise details of position in space back to Earth. The signals are obtained by GPS receivers, such as navigation devices, and are used to calculate the exact position, speed, and time at the vehicle's location. The first page I'll be going over on my website is the purpose page. You can go over to the table of contents on my homepage and see that number 1 is the purpose page. On my purpose page, it really just talks about the purpose of a GPS system. And really the purpose is to make traveling a lot more easier. So like you just plug in a location and it will tell you the directions, speak the directions, and it's a lot easier to get to places rather than having to know how to read a map. And you can get to places a lot more faster and easier with the help of a GPS system. And if you go down here, you can see that there's a YouTube video right here, and it really explains how GPS systems work, and it's a lot more in depth in this video. Next, we'll go to my impacts page. On my impacts page, through these next 3 questions, you can really see how GPS systems are very beneficial, and they help people get to specific locations with verbal directions, and they have a big impact on society because they make the world a safer place by allowing policemen to use the GPS systems to track criminals. Like in this picture, they're using the system to track a GPS system on a computer, and in this picture there's a couple using it to navigate through traffic. It's really helpful. And in this video you can see how a college student thinks GPS systems have impacted society and how it can be used.
Gotta get to my next class before I'm late. Not really sure where I'm going. Good thing I have my GPS.
Starting route to University of Rhode Island.
What's your beliefs of the impact of global positioning systems?
I think the GPS has really changed the game because we can travel to places we're not really familiar with ease. They're on our phones, on our computers, and it just really changed the game because back in the day there used to be maps and it was hard to get around. But now that we have GPSs, it just makes things a lot more simpler. And also, you can take a bus, you can drive, you can walk, you can do whatever, and GPS will direct you where to go.
The next page is my tech page. And this page really just talks about how the user interacts with the innovation. Like, you just log in a location and the GPS will direct you how to get there. And this kind of incorporates the idea of abstraction, because abstraction is managing complexity. And the GPS system manages complexity by, like I just said, logging in the location and it takes you right there. This is my data page, and it's my second to last page. And it talks about how the innovation consumes data. Like the GPS system takes in signals from the satellites and then can pinpoint your location. And the last question is how it's a privacy concern. It's a privacy concern because the government can know where you are at all times when they need to, which is kind of scary. And it's also privacy concern because your parents can know where you are, which is definitely an invasion of your privacy. And before I go on to my last page, I just want to talk about how when creating my webpage, I use HTML and I use CSS. And HTML is more of the content of the webpage, like the writing, like the paragraphs that I wrote. And the CSS is more of the design of the webpage, like the pictures that I added, the background color, the color of the writing, things like that. This is my last page, and it's the references page. And the reference that I used most often was the second one, and it was really useful and just gave a lot of information.